Do you live in Venezuela? If you don't have a car, you don't even have a close friend with a car. You might be part of the population who uses public transportation in our country. Don't you feel tired of waking up early every day and going to a bus station? But then, don't you feel bad when you notice that there are no buses and then you end up walking miles and miles to your destiny? What's worse, feeling that you're gonna ask for a ride to the first driver that appears? But then, don't you feel bad when you still arrive late? If you answered yes to all of these questions, this video is just for you. You definitely need vacations. My name is Romina Guzmán, and today I'm going to show you an island located on the Caribbean Sea, where you can have a nice time on vacation. And yes, I know what you must be thinking right now. This girl is so crazy. I live in Venezuela, vacations, savings. I am broke. I have no savings. Don't worry. On my next video, I am going to talk about 10 different ways to earn some extra money if you live in Venezuela. Believe me, if I could do it, you can do it too. Now, have you ever wondered of going on a cruise ship on vacation? Visualize you right here. When you go to another country, it is important for you to know its location. So, let's start from this point. St. Kitts and Nevis is an island country located in the Caribbean Sea. Here, above our beautiful country, you can see different islands of the Caribbean. You can start your trip from the nearest island to our country, which is Trinidad and Tobago in this case, and then travel to the different islands. These are Grenada, Grenadines, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe, Montserrat, and finally to St. Kitts and Nevis. Don't you find this very interesting and exciting? Yes, of course. It's not too difficult. You deserve this. You just need some extra money. So, let's see this island a little bit closer. St. Kitts, the larger of the two islands, is roughly oval in shape, except for a long, narrow peninsula to the southeast. Its highest point is Mount Yamiga, which is around 1,200 meters high. Both islands are separated by a channel that you can see here. This channel is called the Narrows, which measures around 3 kilometers. The circularly shaped Nevis is surrounded by coral reefs, and the island is almost entirely a single mountain. Nevis Peak is almost 1,000 meters high. By the year 2016, there were 54,821 inhabitants. You can imagine the amount of people by thinking on a stadium, like a stadium called, let's say, Ciudad de la Plata in Argentina, which holds near 54,000 people. Or even Monumental Stadium in Monagas, Venezuela, which can hold around 52,000 people. So, if you can imagine any of these two stadiums full of people, then you can see how small the population of the island is. Now, let's talk a little bit about the history and government. When Christopher Columbus explored the islands in 1493, they were inhabited by the Carib people. The British settled first, and the French settled next. So, an Anglo-French conflict started. However, after a decisive British victory over the French more than 100 years after, the islands came under permanent British control. It is also important to say that these islands were united with Anguilla, and other island located very close. However, this island was separated in the year 1980 and St. Kitts and Nevis gained independence on September 19, 1983. Talking about economy, first I have to say that sugar was the primary export from the 1940s on, but a drop in world sugar prices hurt the nation's economy through the mid-1980s, and the government required to reduce the island dependence on sugar production and to expand the economy, promoting tourism and financial services. Nowadays, St. Kitts is dependent upon tourism to drive its economy. Talking about the government, the country is member of the Commonwealth of Nations, an intergovernmental organization of 53 member states. Elizabeth II is head of the Commonwealth and head of state in 16 of the members, because the remaining members have individuals head of states. In our case, St. Kitts and Nevis is part of the 16 nations in which Queen Elizabeth II is head of state. The Queen is represented in the country by a Governor General who acts on the advice of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. Now, let's talk about the weather, tourism, and customs. The weather of the islands is a tropical one. In tropical climates, there are often two seasons, a wet season and a dry season. In tropical climates, temperature remains relatively hot during the year. What will you do in St. Kitts and Nevis? Tourism. Listen to this. The beaches are different, from black sand in the island's north to gray or white sand beaches along the south side of the island. With their reef-protected waters, their beaches are perfect. So you can enjoy snorkeling, kayaking, boating, and jet skiing, as well as guided sailing tours, especially of St. Kitts, and windsurfing around Nevis. Now, what if you want to carry your whole family to these islands? Well, if you go with your brother or with your sister, you can do horseback riding at the beach or flyboarding. If you go with your children, in the case you have them, you can go swimming with dolphins. If you go with your father-in-law, he might like to try fabulous deep-sea fishing. On the other hand, let's say that you want to carry there your mother-in-law. Well, you can go zip-lining. She can zip-line over the rainforest, although this might be really dangerous. Mother-in-law, if you are watching me, I wouldn't let you do that. You know that I love you. Something that caught my attention about these islands is that the sugar plantations we had mentioned before were transformed into beautiful hotels, such as the Otley's Plantation Inn, a magnificent Caribbean refugee. You can also have restaurants in the hotel, pool, biking, tennis, private pool, golf, and scuba diving. Now, what are the customs of these people? Well, talking about their religion, most inhabitants are Christians, mainly Anglicans and other Protestants. However, everywhere you go on Nevis, you will receive a friendly greeting. And because the island is small, you will frequently see people you have met before. Really, there are no strangers on Nevis, just warm, welcoming people who are honestly pleased to see you. By the way, they receive different levels of education, from preschool education to higher education and universities. One of the colleges, called the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, makes arrangements with universities around the Caribbean, including the University of the West Indies and the University of the Virgin Islands. Finally, let's talk about holidays. Each year, Nevisians celebrate Culturama. It is held annually in late July or early August, and it celebrates Nevisians who have moved away and returned to party with their friends and family. It is a commemoration and festival enjoying the cultural tradition. Listen to this. The beaches are different, from black sand in the island's north to our gray or white sand beaches along the south side of the island. St. Kitts and Nevis is known for a number of musical celebrations, including Carnival. The last week in June features the St. Kitts Music Festival, a festival of popular music held annually in June. Finally, I have to say that you have many things to enjoy in these islands. And now that you know a little bit more about them, are you going to plan the vacations that you deserve? I hope so. I'm going to leave you a link with a website of the islands where you will find even phone numbers for you to ask for more information. So, see you next time, guys.